It was there, but it's gone. Oh, it recorded us first walking out.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Talking about Akbar.
Oh, now it's live now. Okay, we're here.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Sorry, we didn't know if we were on live or not. Welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. Nothing like live on Facebook. That's how we do it. Anyway, take a look at these H3s outside. We got a bunch of H3s that are going to be in production here soon. But today, stay with us because we're going to tour the brand new 1370, Marathon Coach 1370, which is going to be taking its maiden trip with the new owners later this week. So delivery is happening later this week. But wanted to start outside and show you guys the beginning product, which is the beautiful H3 from Prevost. As you can see, 4 of them in the background. We're gonna go inside and look at 1370. They're starting decor, well, they're continuing decor on this coach. So we're kind of interrupting decor, but that's what we do on the show. Let's head on in and take a look. Hope everyone had a good weekend. John and I were working on some video things. When was that? Was that Thursday, Friday?
That was Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. All right, well, anyway, if you have any comments or questions as we move through the coach, and keep in mind, this is someone's custom coach, so we're excited for them. They're going to be able to see it and take delivery of it later this week. All right, back in the plant here. And hopefully everything goes well with the Wi-Fi and all that, but yeah, so the owners of this new coach 1370 have customized it based off of what they need in a coach. They're coming out of a 2020 marathon, a beautiful coach, and so we are now into 1370. The first thing I want to show you, and of course we'll get a good shot of the paint job when we get out of the building, but look at these bays. Isn't this something? Power rollouts on bay 1 and 2. There is a manual rollout with the toolbox in bay 3. Now, of course, we're on the patio side or the curb side, so we're really going to get into all of these in a different tour video, but I wanted you to see how great they look, all 3 together. And I love the Marathon Coach logo on the ends of each of these slide outs is something that it was the owner's idea. And I think it adds a really great touch, that black and gray look on top of the black and gray laminate is really stunning. Of course, we've got the Blaze grill there. This is a nice touch. It's got a remote to be able to pull out your slides. Now, you guys know that usually you have to stand here and hold a button, but with this here, you have the ability to pull it out and stand out this far. Take a look at how much storage is in there, even with that big storage cabinet. And then I'm going to be able to hang this thing back up. But also I want to show you this one. Love this design. So this is the Blaze grill on top of the slide out in bay 2. And of course you've got the hard surface tabletop that comes up to be able to function when you need that. You've got 2 drawers here out front, lined with barbecue safe lining. A little bit of extra supplies for the floor back here, and of course you've got the little giant ladder tied up back here. And I think over here, Sean, if we can see that, yep, here is your refrigerator cooler on this side. with the glass exposed door, which I like that. Some people prefer a chest style like a Norcold, but I really like having the ability to look inside and say, okay, I've got 4 more of these, 6 more of these, or what have you. So there we go. Clip that back in. And then it all goes back in on the hand remote. It's very cool. And then over here on bay 3, it's a manual slide out with the Marathon chairs there, but also, of course, the toolbox. So that's cool. And everything is color coordinated. This is a culmination, in my opinion, of an owner that knows how to use a coach and knows what works and what doesn't work. And so that's important. Yes. I think we've got a question already.
Yeah, someone wanted to know, do you have to bring the awning in to use the barbecue?
No. To use the
Great.
barbecue?
Yeah.
You know, okay, so there's a interesting question. It's kind of up to the preference of the owner. I think this has proper ventilation, so I don't think it's going to go up on the awning and goof up the awning at all. Good question, though.
What number is this again, Mel?
This is 1370. Marathon Coach 1370. So, John, I'm going to let you go in and get some shots while I dictate behind you what's going on. Take a look at those risers, you guys. Now, keep in mind, the owners are going to see this thing in 3 days, and so decor is not completed yet. So our design team is working on that. In fact, I think audio visual was out here a few minutes ago, right before we went live, checking on a few things also. And John, get a good shot right here. I want you to see this seat. This is one of the things that the customer really wanted, was this contrasting stitch with the quilted pattern on these seats, and it just looks beautiful. And like I said earlier, this is a coach that is culminated from a lot of experience from the owner. And so when you own a coach, you know what you need, you know what you like, you know what works, and you know what doesn't work. And that is what you're going to see here in 1370, an experienced owner. So let's close that right there. H3 triple slide, you guys. That's one of the cool things about this is a triple slide with the super bath. There's a couple of things that we're going to leave as surprises to the owner when they see it in a couple of days. So we're not going to show that on camera today because I'm sure they're watching the show. But I'm going to show you a few features in this coach that I really like. But standing above all those features has got to be this feature in the middle of the floor here. Take a look, John, if you can get some close shots of this beautiful inset piece in the floor. Heated floors throughout, but this is a really beautiful design. That was done by the owners. And pardon the decor that's still happening in here, but I still think we can get this. This is our chance to get it on the show before the owners see it. And not only that, but before it rolls out of here on its way out on its trip. Valances and styles, you guys. Take a look at this. I like the fact sometimes you see two different styles, pardon the pun, but two different styles in the styles and valances. I like how this coach has the exact same style for the valance and the style. That's very cool. And of course it's backlit and we've got that light on so we could show you. Here's another thing that I like. Love an all leather sofa. That's one thing that I would want in my coach too. But take a look at this. Hard surface. This is a removable cup holder that is set up for the owners. It basically just sleeves right on the edge so that you can set your drink in here and probably your phone right here. Isn't that great? And it's of course transferable to the other side right there. Very cool. Man, I'll put it back where Santara had it for her decor purposes. All right, moving on. The occasional table with the 2 recliners, love that because it adds the seating options here in the coach. Good, the galley, we all know about the galley. John's going to show you the, oh, John, actually come over here. I want to close this first. Let's go over here. So in the galley, as you can see, there's lots of decor going on right now, but the L-shaped dinette, this of course has the extending dinette that comes out with the push of a button, and that button is situated right over here. In fact, I'll do it just for the camera so we can see. When you've got an additional person that is going to be sitting with you, you hold this button down and it adds an additional seat to that L-shaped dinette. And of course, you still achieve the storage behind, which is nice. And then when you don't need it, it stows away. Very nice. All right. So if you saw the floor that John showed you a close-up of that floor feature, now take a look at that. I probably just threw your camera off a little bit, John.
That's fine.
But that is a beautiful way to tie in the floor or to tie in this art door. This is the art door, you guys. And this is a really cool part of this floor plan. They have this art door in their current coach, but when you hit it, then you hit the button, of course the light goes out, the door opens, and as many of you know, it's got the appliance dream center. Now, the customers have that in their current coach, and they decided to not go with the espresso machine. They went with a coffee machine that they'll use more often. And of course, it's on a pull-out, which is smart not only for cleaning, but for restocking. And because it's a Keurig, it's going to need to be pulled out so that you can access it. But it's got a cord minder that brings it back in from the backside. But that's really smart because a lot of people who get these appliance stream centers, they love it and it's beautiful looking, but they don't use that espresso machine. All right, storage above. Of course, you've got the Keurig on the pull-out, and then the wine cooler at the bottom, and in the middle is that elusive steam convection oven. That's right, it is both. It is a steam and a convection oven. I learned that from one of our customers. So appliance dream center, all put behind an art door. One of the coolest things that we've come out in the last couple of years. This floor plan, as far as a triple slide, is unbeatable. Unbeatable, because you're adding appliances to useful appliances to your galley, and you get also a really cool art feature. Okay, moving on. Fisher Paykel, you guys know this refrigerator, but behind this beautiful cabinet. John, I hope you got this. It's this linen-looking satin finish that was selected by the customers. That is a really, really beautiful laminate. So two-tone in this coach, you guys. Uppers are going to be in the galley, that you're going to see a lot of the brown tones. But as you move into the mids of the coach, you get this linen satin finish on this laminate. Nice choice. All right, John, how about the half bath? Take a look at this. This is absolutely stunning. How about that sink?
Wow.
Isn't that something? A backlit glass art piece is your actual sink in this coach. Coach 1370 H3 triple slide, the latest from Marathon. And this one is getting delivered later this week if you're just joining us. The backsplash that you see there ties directly in with that beautiful sink. And it's what you saw when you first came in the coach. It's the backsplash to the risers. Full closet right here. And this is one cool customization, is the customer wanted a scanner, printer, and copier right here. And look, you got a slide out. So you can slide it out and you can manage the paper, and when you're done with it, It just stows away. You got drawers on the bottom, and of course, it's still a closet because you've got the shirt hanger there. Okay, as we move into the bedroom, and keep in mind, decor has not all been placed, but take a look at this bedspread, you guys. This is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. This ties the coach all together. The backsplashes, so it's got that hint of that blue throughout. I just love it. So a big congratulations to the owners because it just came out so beautiful. I hope they're excited as I am to see it. We're not going to show you into the water closet because there's a couple of Easter eggs, a couple of surprises that the owners are going to be able to see. So that's why we've got the shower feature frosted, and we're not going to undo that. So John's going to stay right there. I'm going to stand right here inside the super bath. You guys already know the super bath, probably the best floor plan in the history of RVs if you're building on the Prevost chassis. There is nothing like the super bath in a Marathon. It provides so much. So you've got a very large shower. On the other side of that, you've got the commode. Behind the commode is the hidden washer dryer. I say hidden because you don't even know it's there. You pull the bar, washer dryer behind the commode. Excellent idea. You've got double vanity here with great storage above and below in this floor plan. And then just when you think all of that's over, there is a closet at the very rear. So some may choose to leave the closet open. Me personally, I would choose to have the closet closed. As you see right there, it is a mirrored effect. Bam. So very cool to be able to have so much in the rear of your coach. And that's why the super bath was a game changer for Marathon and for this industry. You know, you're not going to find that in any other coach but a Marathon. And that's why seeing it like this is just so cool to be able to have the double vanities, the closet in the rear, the shower that is quite large, the liquid crystal doors, double doors that close over this whole thing so that it can be frosted as it is here. And with the push of a button, the opaqueness goes away and it becomes clear. But also my favorite feature of the super bath is the full washer dryer behind the commode. It's just too cool. All right, now closet here, closet there, and then I really like this bench, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not a short bench. It's not a short. You see a lot of short benches in coaches where it's only like an 8-inch area. I think this is a 15 to 16-inch area. You know, here I am sitting on this bench, and it's got really nice area to get ready in the morning, to lay clothes out. It's just too cool. Also, if you have large dogs, which these owners do have a fantastic dog, but he's a little guy. So, but this is a great area if you had a dog that they could lay here if you chose to do so. Also, storage below the bed. And as you can see, the bed is all the way put down right now because Santara is fixing all of the pillows and, of course, the bedspread. When this is put up, you're going to gain, over a foot of area right here in your floor plan. So I'll be able to walk through here when that bed is pushed all the way up. Another thing we can't overlook, John, while we're in here, is the choice that the customers made as far as they did two things that I really like on that window. I love the choice of those Roman shades. I'm a big Roman shade guy, but I love the color because it ties in directly with the bedspread and the pillows. But also take a look at, you have a headboard, but it's a short headboard. I'm a fan of the headboard if it can be short. It ties into the pillows. It also ties into this header up here because it's the same fabric and color. But here's the deal, you guys. You still can achieve natural light if your headboard is not large. That's something I like. Also, storage on each side here of the television. All right. Did we look in here yet? Shirt closet. 2 drawers. Check me mirror right here to make sure I'm looking good. Something I'm constantly working on. Yeah, beautiful coach. Decor is happening, so we want to get out of here to some extent and give these people some time to get in here and finish it for the new owners. Fireplace behind the driver. I can't wait to get this outside because the paint job, I love their current coach, and their current coach has got a really great look. See it a lot down in the desert, down at Motor Coach Country Club. And this one is takes it a step further. There were elements of that the customers didn't like, or not didn't like, but preferred a different look. And so they changed elements of the paint. And so this exterior is really cool. Also, this is something that I like, is the push-pull in the galley. It's almost like a hidden storage to a lot of people. But you've got this whole push-pull effect here, and the end of your galley comes out to extend out for storage on the inside here and the top. Very cool. And the funny thing is, those are adjustable shelves too. So you could take them out and move them to accommodate whatever you need to store in there. All right. John, let's go out of the coach and finish at the front end of the coach. I think the front is one of my favorite elements of this coach. Yeah, beautiful. And in the next couple of days, the owners will be here. The coach will be completely ready. But I want to get some close-up shots here. This was something that was very important to get right for the new owner. And the new owners came and took a look at this. They were here about 3 to 4 weeks ago. And they looked over the coach as it was nearing completion. And that's one of the things that really stands out is this, what do you call that? This texturing feature that you see on the exterior of the coach. Yeah, and there's all of this just ties together well. Oh, and the chrome Prevost on the front and the back of this coach is a really nice touch. So anyway, everybody, that's 1370. We will see this coach probably again on the Marathon Mondays show, but it's my honor to show it this morning. And a big thanks to everyone from our audiovisual engineer, Dave Dolby, who stepped out of the coach so I could do this video, to our design team that's decoring the coach right now, and to our new owners who will be seeing the coach later this week. A big congratulations to them. There's a lot of things that we didn't show because those are things for the owners. Not a lot, just some things, not a ton of things, but I held back a few so that the owners could experience them to themselves first before you guys get to see it on Facebook and YouTube. So that's 1370. Any other questions before we boogie down? We've got Abigail with us this morning. We're going to see if she's got anything for us.
Honestly, I've been doing my best to answer manually.
Oh, good deal. That's fantastic.
So, yeah, but I'm encouraging people, if they have any last-minute questions, they can always ask. But overall, the general consensus is this is an absolutely beautiful coach.
Isn't
Everyone
it?
agrees that everyone agrees that the owners made some really great decisions
Mark.
with the design. People really like the hidden away features like the printer. And just really customizing. We did have one question. I do believe that
Sure, Abigail, go ahead.
That is a king bed, yes?
It is a king bed.
Okay, yes.
Absolutely. You'll be hard-pressed to find anything but a king bed in a
That's what I
marathon
thought.
coach over the last several years. But, yeah, good call on that.
Of course.
And I think Abigail brings up a very good point. The features in this coach really speak to the fact that these owners are experienced at owning a marathon.
Yeah.
And we see that in several builds that are on the floor. This guy right here, which is 1373, I believe. 1373, another repeat offender customer. You like that term?
That's really something.
Man, I can't make that up. Another repeat offender customer. And they know what they like, they know what they need, they know what works, and they know what works in each floor plan. And that's what's so important about experiencing a coach. Our owners that are in these coaches, that drive them, that live in them, that wake up in them, they know best of what works and what doesn't work in a coach. And 1370 is a great example of that, because the owners they basically put together a coach based on their experience over the last several years. So I don't know if they're going to do another coach after this, but I can only imagine after this what they would do.
I mean, I have no idea.
It sure is beautiful. How about that floor feature?
The floor feature is gorgeous.
Love it.
There was a couple comments on the textures of the seats as well.
Yeah.
This says, how many bays could you do with slides? I'm not sure.
That's a darn good question,
Yeah.
Abigail. How many slides can you put in a bay? It all depends on the configuration of our electrical panels and stuff that go in the bays. We have some restrictions down there, but as you see in 1370, you've got 2 electric slides, not the dance, but the actual slides. Right there in Bay 1 and Bay 2, don't ask me to do the electric slide. It ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen.
You're the one who encouraged it, so we're not asking
Mr.
you to do
Lopez,
anything.
you've got slides in 1 and 2, and then in the 3rd bay, you've got that manual slide out. So, Steve, you got a second? Let's get you in here. I've got my microphone here, so I'll have you talk up. Oh, yeah, thank you, Abigail. I have a few questions. I know that you have helped working on getting this coach ready for the new owners that are coming here, some people that you've met before. What's your favorite features of Custom Coach 1370? Because we just went through it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I like this mosaic tile they have pictured in the blues in this coach. Really,
that's one thing we were
really
pointing out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One thing I actually took photos to show the wife because I thought it was.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the infrared, the barbecue, the electric barbecue is pretty.
It's pretty snappy. Yeah. When those bays are all opened like that and all of the slide outs are pushed in, it has a dynamic look all the way down. Everything is color matched and everything. So I love looking at the bays of this coach.
Yeah, it's a nice looking coach.
This is a good example, and this is something I mentioned, and I know that you know who these owners are. This is a good example of experienced owners who knows what works and knows what doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Steve. Just wanted to get your opinion. Appreciate that. And it's always nice to get, Steve Lopez, ladies and gentlemen. It's always nice to get opinions of the people that actually build these coaches. And so it's really cool to be able to have someone like Steve chime in like that. The bays, probably my favorite feature of this coach. The cockpit seating is probably a close runner-up. I love 1370. So anyway, congratulations to the new owners. We're going to get out of here for the day. You got one more? Abigail's got one more. I can appreciate that.
more.
Let's do it.
I don't know if this is a question we can answer because our schedule is a little bit flip-flopped.
Sure.
But someone asked, what is the last coach that we have that will be on the older Prevost chassis? And I think that has to be 74, correct? Because 75 is the one on the newest chassis.
Yeah,
as far
great
as I'm
question.
aware.
I'm not quite sure
Yeah, exactly.
on that one, but if you email me, malw@marathoncoach.com, I can answer it. Other than that, you guys, what's up?
Well, someone was asking, I don't know if we're allowed to show it yet, though, but someone was asking about the black and white coach in the background.
We can show it from right here.
Okay, yeah. We can show it from right here.
Let's pan over here and take a look at one of our NASCAR teams. Has a custom coach right there on the floor. Very, very cool. And we probably won't show that until it's either completed or, we have to get permission from that NASCAR team, just like I had to get permission from the owners on this coach. These people who own this coach, 1370, probably the coolest golf cart I've ever seen. It's not even a golf cart. The thing has heat and air conditioning. You heard me right? You heard me right. Heating and air conditioning. It's the coolest golf cart in the desert. There is no doubt. Anyway, be yourself and do good things. 1370, we're hitting the road this week. So take care of everybody, and I'll see you next week. I'm out.